Hey everyone, the season may be over, but we at Redmen Plus are not done. We have got your post-season content covered. We have got season reviews for each of the 4 competitions that Liverpool played every single game in this season. We have got a whole host of review content, including keep, sell, loan, which Liverpool players do we think need to be moved on, loan, or kept tight hold of this summer. Our end of season awards from the Redmen TV live show. We have also got an amazing documentary looking at how Liverpool captured their first League Cup since 2012 in our documentary Squad Game. And there is also going to be a Divock Origi documentary. Our cult hero, our cult legend is on the way to AC Milan, but we're going to relive his greatest, most legendary moments in his Liverpool career. All of this content is available in video form and the studio stuff in podcast form. Extra bonus shows you each and every week to keep you tided over, to keep you getting from Liverpool withdrawal symptoms and get you closer to Liverpool, the city and the football club. Head to redmenplus.com and join us, get involved and celebrate this wonderful, wonderful football club that we all love. It is a tight one against Forest. It's ultimately Diogo Jota who decides it. Ben, and as you say, it means that we can look forward to a semi-final against Man City, and by that I mean be utterly, totally terrified and sick to our stomachs because nobody wants to ever nobody just didn't want to play City again.
2 games on the bounce.
Well, there was a period where obviously this was before the quarterfinal of the Champions League. You were potentially going to have to play them 4 times in a row.
There was the World Series, Man City World Series that we were looking forward to, where we played them back to back.
And that was going to be all the trophies. That was it. It was because it did feel like at the time.
All decided in a week.
It was good, all of them, because obviously we were both eyes on the European Cup. It felt like one of us was going to win that, so whoever was going to win it was going to go through it. And oh God, what a time!
Well, Liverpool's run into this one is, as mentioned, it's Benfica away, which we win 3-1. It's a 2-2 draw with City at the Etihad. We then draw Benfica 3-3 at Anfield, and then into the semi-final against them. Of course, City go into this on the back of a grueling draw over an Atletico at the Wanda Metropolitano, with them being in full shithouse mode. They come into it heavily fatigued. We've rotated really nicely in build-up for this, and
a couple of knocks as well, City.
Yeah, and it certainly helps us. But Liverpool, when they get into that game, Ben, they blitz City in a way that we haven't really seen Liverpool do since 17-18.
Yeah, no, we were outstanding. We were due a big win over City, really, over the years. I mean, I know we beat them the season we won the league, but they've embarrassed us a couple of times, really, since the Etihad behind closed doors, the one at Anfield. I know we had injuries and stuff, but really, we need It was all well and good saying that we were catching them and we felt like we were better than them, but we needed to kind of go and show it, and this was the first step of doing that. We were kind of second best for a lot of the game in the league game as well, in the 2-2. I felt like we were lucky to come out of that with a draw.
Yeah.
So to go out and be 3-0 up at half time, what a day. Just like the whole thing just couldn't have gone much better, really. It was a sunny day, everybody was buzzing. It was a nice sizable allocation, so pretty much everybody who deserved to be there was there. Everybody had a good time, and they couldn't sell out their end. They disgraced themselves.
They put that big flag up on the top tier to disguise, that they couldn't fill the allocation, which was hilarious.
Well, they didn't want to give it to us, did they? They could have done. They could have given the tickets back, and it would have been given to us, but they didn't want to do that. They disgraced themselves by booing the Hillsborough Silence. They didn't play well. The fans were absolutely bobbins anyway. They didn't sing, and they were all gone. I mean, they obviously got the goal right at the end, but I wasn't really that nervous during the game. There was a chance Alisson played, didn't he? Because it had gone 3-1, and there was a chance probably around 70 where Jesus was through, and Alisson made a big save. It had gone 3-2 at that point. Pep was bringing on De Bruyne, and it might have gone a bit hairy, but that was the big moment. And from there, really we saw it out quite well. Going into the last minute of stoppage time, they still needed 2 goals. It looked tighter than it was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, Canate, this is a little spell for him down when he starts scoring important goals for Liverpool, a couple of big headers. And Sadio Mane
it was important that we took advantage of the fact that City didn't put their strongest team out.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd struggled against them in the league game, and we were lucky to get away with the 2-2. But De Bruyne totally ran that show that day.
Yeah.
And he was in really great form over that period, not just against us, everyone. And the fact that he wasn't on the pitch, I thought, oh my God, thank God for that. Yeah. And you know, we just walked all over them for 45 minutes, or for more than that, 50 minutes.
Well, it's the game where I felt like it was the unveiling party for what's going to be Liverpool. Well, I don't know if it's 2 points or 3 points at this point on the Jurgen Klopp, but the next iteration of what Liverpool do, and maybe a stylistic change. The criticism for me personally of the Etihad League game was our midfield just didn't have enough guile compared to theirs. You know, they effectively played Bernardo Silva as a second, you know, as a deep lying midfielder alongside Rodri, and then they've got Kevin De Bruyne still in that midfield. Liverpool go. Henderson's on the bench, Fabinho's anchoring the midfield, but it's Thiago and Keita. He trusts Keita in another big game. His rehabilitation, I think, is finally come full circle for him. Diaz starts, Mane's in the 9, which we've hit upon as like this might be the answer to a bit of our issues, because Mane's not been performing well, particularly on the left, but he's come back from
Mane's
AFCON.
He's had an in-and-out season, hasn't he? I mean, there were times when he would look jaded and. But he came back from Africa and he got back up to form reasonably quickly because he started scoring goals and dragged himself along to really, you know, strong performances towards the end. And I mean, this was almost him saying, "Look, I'm back and I'm at my best."
Yeah,
because he was absolutely brilliant on the day, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely sensational. Two brilliant goals. The one on where Zach Steffen is pressed to death. Ben is, you know, it's one of those what Klopp wants to see from his team, but that's all Mane. And this game might be like, and he's got lots of big games in the back half of the season playing in the 9 for Liverpool, but this there can't be many that come close to this one from Sadio. Hey everyone, just to take a moment to thank our sponsors, OddsMonkey. Yes, they are going to guide you through the world of matched betting. So if you're on the lookout for a tax-free side hustle, then check out OddsMonkey. What we know about what they do is that loads of the bookmakers all offer free bets and free offers, and through their guide, they can help you take advantage of that. With their free trial, if you head to them through the link, you can get up to £60 as well, simply for going through their very simple process. They have got an incredibly easy to use 3-step guide on the website that's going to guide you along the way and show you how to lock in a profit of over £1,000. If you're the type of person that's interested in earning some extra money from home in your spare time, then check it out. Click the link or scan the QR code on screen. Head over to OddsMonkey, your guide to matched betting.
Pressing game from that day really was shades of 17-18, the intensity of it. We were kind of in that spell with Mane really where he'd come back off the international duty, he'd obviously won the AFCON and qualified for the World Cup, and we've seen a different player really since then. And this back half of the season's probably been his strongest since 17-18, that's it for years.
Maybe 18, I suppose 18-19 I would hold up in that because of thinking about Bayern Munich and all that kind of stuff in
potentially
there. But in terms of to split hairs between two fantastic second half of seasons.
So to have him and to almost see him kind of like revolutionise really in the 9 role, like obviously at times where, because Diaz has been so good, I don't know where that's just forced him a little bit, Klopp, to have a little bit of a rethink. And obviously Jota hasn't been as good in the second half of the season. It's kind of been a perfect storm for the front 3 that we now think of, Salah, Mane, Diaz, to kind of take shape. And I feel like this was the game where it was kind of done.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, I agree on that. And that's the thing where it felt like, okay, yeah, you can mitigate to some extent for City being slightly under strength or fatigued or whatever, but it did feel like Liverpool got the drop on them. I think we saw it at the Etihad, 2 teams who knew each other inside and out. and they were very, very evenly matched. Whereas this one felt like Liverpool went, "Oh, go on, we'll show you what else we've got here."
I'm sort of sick to death of City playing us when we're not quite at our best and absolutely battering us.
Yeah.
And we never seem to do the same thing to them. And here was us doing the same thing to them. We had fresher players. We didn't have to leave our best players on the bench. We were right up for it, and it showed.
Yeah, no, absolutely incredible game, wonderful atmosphere, wonderful feeling to go and do that. And the big thing about that, I think the league game has a massive impact on this one, Ben, because to the point Liverpool were able to rotate and get ourselves prepared for this one, because we put loads of import on it. It's the second year on the run where Guardiola's had to throw all his eggs into the Champions League basket and left himself short in an FA Cup semi-final. But because of the way the league had gone, Liverpool, they had a real point to prove. I think in this one it was like, well, the league's not in our hands anymore. We missed out on an opportunity to go top, to grab the league, to grab the lead in the league. And so there was very much like, well, let's just go knock City out, and because the cup, that's what it became. The cups are within our sphere of influence, and that's what Liverpool did there. It was like, right, two big teams, the two best teams in the country. Well, we've just put one of them out at the semi-final stage. Let's go and strive forward.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this was the game where the quad talk was a little bit less hushed. I think because of the map, the way things were mapping out. Obviously, we knew we were in touching distance in the league. I think we'd gone through against Benfica, so were we about to? Is it mid?
No, we've gone through. We qualified. For the second leg is the game before this game.
So we know that we've got Villarreal. So without wanting to say it, we fancy us to do Villarreal really over two legs. So we're practically in a Champions League final, we're in an FA Cup final, and we're in touching distance. That was the game that had kind of unlocked it. And then obviously there was a little bit more because we had to go into United and then Everton, didn't we, that week in the league. So the job in the league didn't really feel totally on until we got those games out of the way. But you're always like that in the league. You're always constantly going, oh, let's get this week out of the way and see where we are. Let's get this week. We're away at Burnley next week. Let's see how that goes. You're constantly doing that. But that week in particular felt like, oh, maybe we can talk about this, and we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it was such a fraught week, really, because if we'd lost at City, and we'd looked like we would have, a lot of the time, and then we could have been knocked out of the cup by them, our season's over.
Yeah.
Hardly before we got into our stride again.
The worst case scenario was there. Right, you've not won at the Etihad, so the league's in City's hands. They knock you out the FA Cup, and then you've got a potential final against them in the Champions League to loom. And I would, there's no quadruple talk anymore. There's no talk of anything. There's talk of all of a sudden it's like, well, Liverpool got the League Cup, and that's it. And that was the palpable sense of relief I felt at full time of this game. I've done that. I got to see Liverpool go. It's the first time in that entire season where we went toe to toe with one of our closest rivals and actually beat them. Yeah. It doesn't. We don't.
Was it the only time we beat a top side this season?
Basically, and that was just a real sense of like, no, I know to see we can do it meant so much, and just to have that, as you say. Yeah, it's Chelsea in the final, and that'll come with its own set of stresses. But to be able to just put City out, you're right. The league is exhausting because you're constantly going, "How are we getting on? How is City getting on? How are we getting on? How is City getting on?" You're playing City every week in the league. You just are. Whereas they're out. We don't have to. That's it.
If you want something doing, do it yourself. We have moaned over the years about their cup runs, and half the time several times I thought. Like if you get them in the quarter-final at Anfield or something, let's just do that. The quarter-final draw. Let's do that. Then quarter-final draw at Anfield on a Sunday. We'll have them, and then we don't have to worry about them anymore. And we kind of did that in the semi, just at Wembley instead. So, kind of, as I say, it was better to do that, I think, than have to worry about a final against them.
Yeah, great vibes. It was a wonderful, wonderful day out. Enjoyed every moment of that, really. Hope you enjoyed that clip from our FA Cup season review over on Redmen Plus. We did a season review for all 4 competitions that Liverpool played every game in this season. So if you want to wrap up the season in style, in video, or in podcast form, head over to redmenplus.com and sign up. We've also got tons of extra content over there, hundreds of hours in our archives of extra features, documentaries and interviews with Liverpool legends past and present. So if you want to get closer to the feel in and around Liverpool, the city and the football club, then head over to redmenplus.com. Thanks for watching. The season is done, but we are not. Throughout the summer, we're going to bring you exclusive coverage of whatever Liverpool do in the transfer market each and every week. We've also got a whole host of incredible weekly shows, documentaries, features and interviews. Do you want to find out what the greatest, most legendary moments of Divock Origi's career were from the mouths of the players that played alongside him? Players like Virgil van Dijk? Well, check out our Divock Origi feature streaming exclusively on Redmen Plus throughout June.